Hey guys, I wanted to check in with you a little bit about Radium Girls. I've had some questions, and even though I've spoken about it in other videos, and I think I even put up a little note about it, I just wanted to speak directly and put this on the Radium Girls playlist so that those of you who were tuned in for that series would see this. So the long and short of it is that we are this far into the book and we have this much more to go. And as I looked forward, I just found more and more and more stories of terrible situations, of course, which is to be expected. And I've gotten some feedback from some of you that are like, yeah, well, that's why we picked this up. And I totally agree, except I personally, particularly at this time of year, I just cannot read story after story and week after week of despair. So it is possible we will pick this book back up at some point, and I apologize if you entered this fully ready to go into it with me. And I even tried to rally my own spirits, I think in the last video, to see if I could do it. And honestly, I just can't. This is so much reading to do with only the promise of despair for me right now. And so I think it is possible that I may pick it back up for myself back during the holiday season and wrap it up after, you know, say maybe January. But I might not. I don't know. I at this point, the book is on hold. I just want to say that very clearly. And I apologize if I got your hopes up and got you into it, and then now we're dropping it like a hot potato, but that's just the way it is. And my channel is fairly new and I'm still learning. So I ask for your kind of grace and mercy in that as I learn about what is a good fit for me and a good fit for viewers, that sometimes that learning is going to mean that there's some things that get, you know, that fall a little flat. And that was one of those. So we are still going with Chappaquiddick, so I want to invite you to come over to that with us. The interesting thing about it is, while there is, of course, the, you know, Kennedy machine, and there's definitely lying, you know, Ted Kennedy, there is also some interesting just dynamics of what happens with groups of people, what happens between two cousins, when one has always been relied on to fix things for the other. And then just what's happening in the wheels of justice. I think those questions are really interesting. And at this point, we are probably about not quite 2/3 of the way through. So you could totally catch up and still be in time to catch us for the end of that series. I'm also working through Jane Austen's Mansfield Park just as a complete, lighthearted, interesting story that we can read aloud together. So that is the full audiobook. So if you want to jump on that playlist, that's available to you. And then probably starting next week, I think, possibly mid-December, but hopefully next week, I'm hoping to start a totally new book that's going to be fairly lighthearted and brighter and just something interesting that we can lose ourselves in without having the depths during the holidays. So I invite you to join me and keep your eye out for that next book. But for now, I just want to apologize that we are at least pausing the Radium Girls, and we may or may not pick it back up after the holidays. If I do, what I could foresee doing would be to do one wrap-up episode with all of the various injuries and sorrows that happened, and then move us ahead toward the justice side of things. Because for me, that's the part that really gets my interest, is what came as a result of this. But for now, right now, I just cannot bring myself to read and ask you guys to sit through constant jaws falling off and terrible cancerous tumors. And the world has enough sorrow. And during this time of the holidays, I really want to lift up the dialogue that we're taking into our minds and hearts. And I want to bring us toward things that either lift the spirits or give us interesting, good things to think about, instead of only dark things. And this book we're nearly through with, and it is dark enough for us to do once or twice a week, but the rest, either through vintage magazines or novels or the new book that we're going to read, I hope to contribute to a lifting of your spirits. So that is my goal. That is my plan. And I hope that this video meets with, your at least acceptance, and that you'll continue on joining me on other videos. So I'll hope to see you on those. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.